ensure that all children in Cameroon in particular have access to 3 textbooks, the core textbooks, which are Maths, French, and English. If all children in school can have these books, then we would have bridged a very huge fundamental gap in the education system of the country. I lost my mother. I went through a lot of challenging situations. There were moments that I would have considered myself an internally displaced person because I had problems that range from shelter to food to education to health, and I didn't really know how to go about it. So, but with some degree of luck, I was able to overcome these challenges. And I had a lot of frustration and anger in me because I felt like the society wasn't kind enough towards me when I was going through these difficult moments. And in order to overcome these difficulties, I decided to invest my energy in helping to create a system to help other children in similar situations. My passion to assist orphans and vulnerable children was actually activated on the day I met Candy, Rose, and Regina. These are 2 children who were 5 years old and 7 years old at the time, and they were living with their grandmother. And their grandmother was so old and fragile. She was partially blind, and these children were the ones hoeing the farm, doing the chores, going to the market, selling, bringing the money home. And they were going to school in racks. They had no books, no uniforms. They were just in school in racks. And I saw these children, and it recalled my own experiences when I lost my mother. I saw their story in my story, and I didn't want them to even tell me what they were going through. And I decided to commit immediately to those children. And I knew that they had no sponsors. They had nobody to provide the financial support that could back them up in order for them to have a future. And because of this, I made sure that each year these children had all the basics they needed to go to school. And today these children are already in secondary school, mid-secondary school, and they are doing wonderfully well in school. The story of these children is just one story of the plight of many of these children, orphans and vulnerable children in the community. Many children are not fortunate to have the opportunity which these children have had. And many children in their numbers continue to go to school without books. And if we look at the equation of education, the 3 fundamental issues about education is for the child to be serious, is for the community to have a school and a teacher, and then for there to be books. If the child is there and we have the teachers and the school, but we don't have the books, then there is a huge gap in the system, in the equation. And because of this gap, many children go through school with accumulated difficulties. They cannot really apprehend what they study. Currently, we have piloted aspects of the program. We have done a lot of community mobilization, so we know how to get to the needy children. We know how to work with community members and groups. And now we have established an office structure where we can process all the information we have. And at the same time, we have already established the various systems in place to manage the library. So what we need currently is to be able to stock the bookstore where people can get the books and subscribe, and also have the means to buy books for those children who cannot be able to get the books through the bookstore, who cannot pay for the books, such that these children too can be subscribed into the program. With this project, in 10 years' time, I would have been able to have a solid structure in Cameroon that will benefit the rest of Central Africa and West Africa, because I intend to have a warehouse and a container processing facility where we will convert containers, shipping containers, into libraries and donate to schools and local communities. I would have been able to establish good partnership with publishers and libraries all over the world, who, instead of dumping their books when the books are out of their shelf life, they will recycle these books by donating the books to their village library, who will then disseminate these books to their various satellite channels that is going to be established in this process. And as such, after 10 years from today, children in Cameroon, not only children in Cameroon, but children in Cameroon and Central and West Africa will be benefiting from this service.